Greetings everyone, Ken McAuliffe from Stereophile Magazine here, Mark Henninger, Stereophile Managing Editor behind the camera. To my left, Inès Adler of Voxativ Acoustics. Voxativ?
Voxativ.
She's here with Christopher Owens, her CMO, her Master of Marketing, and we're here to talk about her new Alberich speakers. Now I have the Impeggios at home, which I'm supposed to be objective, but I love those speakers, and these sound like, I have a much smaller room, these sound like the Impeggios, but more top end and the bass is tighter. But I have two questions before you tell me about the technology of these speakers. They're a combination of the pre-existing Alberich and the Hagen, now in their second iteration. What is Alberich? What is Hagen? Why those names? What do they mean?
This comes from this German Middle Ages saga, the Nibelungen. This is a saga of Siegfried. He is the dragon fighter, and after he fought the dragon, he takes a bath in the blood of the dragon, and then he is an avenger, kind of. But this is a story from the Middle Ages. And the names of these protagonists of this saga is Siegfried Hagen. Hagen is the murderer of Siegfried afterwards. And Alberich is the mother of Hagen. So all these names are captured from this saga, because we want to create a storyboard around these speakers, because this is not the end of the line. More is coming, and yeah, we are planning to embed this kind of in this saga and use all the names so that it's a
Oh, I love that.
A story behind.
Oh, I love that. And these were both pre-existing speakers separately here down. You can buy it as an array, no, as a non-array, or the full array. And so what changes have been made to the drivers in both of these speakers?
First of all, what you see here is not the existing Hagen and not the existing Alberich.
Not the pre-existing.
Yeah. This is version 2. This means the Alberich, the woofer section, is optimized in a way that the woofer is now mounted on a steel plate, because the pressure it creates is so high that we need a little bit more support against all these resonances. So it is more strong, and it is a new woofer, a new one, a neodymium woofer, very powerful and very fast. So, and the Hagen, the housing on the top, is modified. It has a very short backloaded horn like the Impeggio. I optimized it a little bit for the new driver that I created. And this new driver is one of our new generation drivers that distinguishes from the old one by the black cone. The black cone, this is still a Japanese-like paper. It is not an original Japanese paper because now it's black. But the sound quality is very close. The geometry is a bit different, because I put it in all what I have learned in the driver construction. It has a new magnet with an extreme long magnet gap. We call it endless gap technology. So it's a neodymium magnet, and of course we make everything by ourselves: the driver, the magnet, the cone, the coil, and we glue this together in Berlin or close to Berlin in our facility in Germany.
Is the active woofer, is it a Class D amp driving it?
Yes, it is a Class D, 500 watts. You have adjustment for phase, for crossover frequency, and for level, of course. And you operate it with the line-in from our integrated.
Is it your own Class D or some module?
No, it is something that you buy somewhere.
Right.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
We don't do this amp because it's a simple Class D amp.
Right.
It goes up to 75 hertz. It only has to have power. This is what you need.
Right.
So we don't do this by ourselves.
And you mentioned the woofer is a ripole. What is a ripole?
A ripole is a dipole. This means you have no sealed enclosure. It is open in the front and open in the back. But the normal dipole is simply a piece of wood, and you screw a woofer on, and you have a very close acoustical shortcut, and mostly the deepest spaces do not come out. The ripole has a little bit a guidance that makes that reduces the acoustical shortcut, and this is the reason why we can make linear 20 hertz with this woofer section.
20 hertz, right? 20 hertz. Wow. So it's open. There's a slat in the front, a slat in the back.
Exactly.
And when we were sitting listening before we started, you made the point that the bass is not just coming out of the woofer.
Yes, because these Hagens that are on top, they are not filtered. There is no crossover inside. This means these are all full-range operating speakers going from about 45 Hertz to 33K in the upper side. And when you stack them one on the other, of course, they also make bass. So the bass is not coming out of the corner somewhere, it comes from everywhere. And this is a different sound impression.
How do you, and this might be a dumb question, maybe I should know the answer to this, how do you get the bass from these two to gel correctly and work with the bass coming out of the woofer?
What do you mean? I don't really understand.
I mean, I guess bass isn't directional like treble is. It's more everywhere sort of anyway.
Yeah, so. Yeah, but all drivers radiate bass. And normally when you have a filtered speaker system, then you have a woofer down there, and this makes the bass. And the other drivers upon don't make bass because they are filtered, they are blocked in the lower frequencies. Here it's different. They all do everything.
And what is the, I see like the little network of bracing, the stands, the plates in between each speaker. What are those made of? This
is all aluminum. It's a support system because it's not simply a staple of speakers. Of course, there is an aluminum support system in the back that prevent them from falling down and reduces a little bit oscillation. But of course, the woofer makes a lot of power and you feel it everywhere.
What's the cone material of the woofer?
It's paper.
But it's not like it's not the same as the Japanese paper.
We don't do this woofer by ourselves. It's a woofer that we buy.
Right, right. And are the cabinets MDF? What are they?
MDF, steel support for the woofer in the bottom because it's too strong.
Is Germany your best market overall?
No.
Where's your best market?
USA.
Oh, that's wild. I mean, it's the biggest market too, I guess.
Yeah, but also we have a lot of fans in the USA since years. Mostly because of Stereophile. You guys helped a lot. Art was one of the makers of Voxativ because he was a fan of the first arpeggio I made, and he simply said, "Come, put it in," and he made us Product of the Year in 2011. Come on, that was an honor.
Yeah.
And it made us famous, kind of famous in the USA. And this is the reason we make 80% of our deals in the USA.
So somebody, let's say they have an arpeggio. What would they get if they upgraded to this? How would you contrast the two speakers?
The point is the arpeggio is completely full range, and the driver is an, I would say, older construction. So they are limited to about 18 kilohertz on the top, and the roll-off of the arpeggio in the bass region starts at about 60. With this system here, you don't have any roll-off. It goes linear to 20 Hertz and it goes up to 33K because these drivers have no limitations. This is a complete new construction I made in the last 7 months.
I can hear up to about 11K. What can you hear up to?
I measured it, so I also cannot hear it, of course. But when I make speakers, of course, first of all, I make them with my ears. But then there is a moment where you have to get more professional and then you measure. And then I saw, oops. It goes up and up and up, and not big mountains in the frequency response. So it is simply a next level driver of Voxativ.
Right. Would you like to add anything?
I would say it is not the end of the story of this array. The Nibelungen saga has more protagonists, and on the high-end in Munich, the next one will be added. So simply be curious what is coming, because we can make a lot of things with this Lego speaker system, and this is what we will do.
Wow.
So we will make it really big for really big rooms and fight the other big brands. That's what we want to do.
Great. Thanks, Inès.
Thank you, Ken.
Always a pleasure.
extremely fast.
I want to find this on vinyl.